Today I'm going to walk you guys through how I automate 90% of my content with Claude. And before you run to the comment section, this isn't about automating the ideas, it's about automating the process. Before I make any YouTube video, any piece of content, I have an idea of what I want to cover and why it would be beneficial to the user. This automation process just helps me take that from point A to the posting point of point B a lot quicker. Before we dive in, make sure you've joined the AI Academy. This guide, along with tons of other coupon codes, discounts, will be first link in the description. We just added a member perk section as well. 3,000 people already in here, along with all of these free guides. So this is the exact system behind a daily YouTube video, how I run my 100,000 subscriber newsletter, carousels on autopilot, one Claude project, 5 stages, and about 90 minutes to an hour a day. I'm going to walk you through my entire Claude setup, my ChatGPT setup, and my recording setup in this video. So everyone thinks that daily content requires a team. You can definitely pay out a team, a scriptwriter, a thumbnail designer, etc. But I ship a YouTube video every single day, and it may not be in depth with the high quality edits as everyone else, but I believe that the value and the content is there. It also helps me with my Instagram posts. About to hit 50K over there in under 2 months, 100,000 subscriber newsletter, and it's not because I work any faster than you, it's because I stopped packaging everything myself. Claude does roughly 90% of this work. I bring in an idea, it does the research, the drafting, the titles, the thumbnail, the prompts for the carousels, the captions, the publishing. I do the other 10% that actually matters. I show up on camera, I bring the insights, I fact check the facts, and I deliver what I know and what is useful and what's worked for me. This guide is that entire machine, so every step, every prompt in that order of how I actually run it. Why I get to tell you this, I ship a YouTube video every single day. We've been doing this for about a month and a half now. See no reason why I'd stop. Run a 100,000 subscriber AI newsletter, the AI debrief, hit 100,000 subscribers in under 100 days. Do this consistency. 30 million channel views, 100 million impressions in May of 2026 alone across all my socials. Some past verification, being an entrepreneur. And then I ship client builds every single week. This isn't a theory video about AI could do for creators. This is for creators that want to leverage AI to get more output out there, more value. The 90-10 rule, before we start, automate the packaging, never automate the person. The 90% that Claude owns here is the competitive research, idea ranking. It's getting all my thoughts onto the paper. And the 10% I own is the opinions I say, the camera, the final pick on everything I'm obviously producing, and I reply to every single comment. Some of you have figured that out on school and YouTube. I literally respond to every single one because this community and providing this AI education is very important to me. That's the reason I started it in the first place. So the engine at a glance before we hop into stage 0. One Claude project, the brain in 5 stages. We'll talk about scan today, find today's ideas from your competitors, trend data, about 10 minutes. The guide, Claude drafts a written guide, publishes straight to Notion, 15 minutes. Film, 1 take. As some of you noticed, and as I've said in the past, all my YouTube videos are 1 take because I already know the value I'm bringing and the content I've already used. So I just do it 1 take. I think it's much more real and organic than cut up. I don't really care about the algorithm. If it's not going to push, it's not going to push it. Package, transcript goes back in, how to get the title and thumbnail, and then how to repurpose captions, DM funnels, all that good stuff. I guess I should have ManyChat pulled up here, but maybe I'll save that for another video. Total about 90 minutes, maybe 60 minutes if you're quick. Across YouTube, school, Instagram, newsletter, all the social media. This guide becomes more the camera, more on that in stage 2. This all comes before the camera, man. So stage 0, the brain. We're gonna hop in. I'm gonna walk you guys through all of this. If you have any questions inside our school community, wow, I can't speak in this one today. This is my worst speaking performance ever. In every single one of these guides under a video, we tag it so people can hop in there, ask immediate questions, and get feedback. It's been amazing to see people do that. I'm in there daily seeing how people are doing. So everything runs inside of one Claude project, not fresh chats, a project with permanent instructions and connected tools. What lives in this project, instructions are my voice and credibility, my title process, my thumbnail style library, my guide structure, my carousel template, and script content templates. What's connected versus the MCP is Notion. We talked about MCPs in a few videos the past few days, Web Search, and Beehive. If you want my exact instructions here, just come into the community. I'll paste them in there in the school post. It's just the framework I've used and it works really well. It's not the most detailed instructions in the world, but it gets the job done, along with some files of some templates that I've liked in the past. So for those of you new to Claude, you can go here, connectors, and we could add it to a project And I believe YouTube is right here. Perfect. And now this chat is connected with these instructions here. Great. So moving on to the scan. Every content day starts with a live data, not vibes. I keep a track list of 6 to 8 creators in my space that I really look up to. I think they know what they're talking about, and I want to replicate what they're presenting, obviously with my own twist. So you can start with this prompt here. I've made it so you can literally just copy and paste this in. You can paste it into Claude once you have your project. So if we were starting this new, we'd create that project, we paste in the instructions, and then we connect that project down here like you saw me do. And then you could say, scan this track creator list, current AI news, what's trending in the last 7 days. And usually after this, I'll brain dump a little bit. So I'll turn on Whisper Flow and I'll be like, I'm really interested in talking about MCP servers and connectors. I've seen a lot of these pop up, and I think a lot of people don't understand what an MCP actually is and why it's important. Maybe we could focus on that as you're doing your scan. So it will take all this, and we'll come back to this in a second as it runs. But Claude will search, cross-reference against everything it's already made, and hands picks a short list for you. I usually pick one of those. Sometimes I'll stick on this step for a few rounds if I really don't like the ideas, or sometimes I'll just be scrolling on YouTube or I'll have a thought pop in my head and I'm like, I want to make a video on that, right? Like I had one the other day where it was like AI certificates, and I was like, oh, that could be useful if I was back in college. Let me just talk about that. If so, you can just prompt with the scan like, hey, I want to talk about this, do deep research on that, right? If I wanted to do the 20 certificates again, this would just say, hey, you can scan my creator list, but this is the video we're doing on today. Just look to see what's trending. Jeff Sue has some great stuff. So I like to see what their strategies are for their thumbnails, their titles, so that we can go down that similar path. So stage 1, while this is running, we're going to talk about stage 2. Most creators script, film, and then edit, and then scramble to make a lead magnet. I flip it because the guide is the script for me. I find this a lot easier. Again, I don't think it's as visually appealing to just see me going through a guide and talking through my thoughts, but I think it's much more valuable than a video that's more retention based. Maybe I'll change my mind on that in the past, but right now this is working for me. Once I pick the idea, Claude drafts the full written guide. Obviously, we're going to talk about how we prompt for that. The guide now does 3 jobs at once. It's my teleprompter, it's the lead magnet, and it's the newsletter's raw material. If we go to the debrief here, I guess it's not live. It'll be live tomorrow. We wrote a new one about Claude's IPO, which was obviously the biggest news in AI recently, but it came through this Claude project as kind of an idea that surfaced. I think the same with this Pope one here, talking about how the Pope signed with Anthropic. Yeah, good stuff. So it's come back and it did the scan. Landmark MCP content from the track creators. The MCP security video. MCP just won. The protocol is over. Connecting your actual business data to Claude via MCP. That would be a good one. I think a lot of people struggle with how to do that. Just going to give me 5 ideas and then its recommendation. So usually I would pick one or I'd riff with it a bit more, but we're going to move on. So we're going to say, let's go with the connect your actual business. I really like the connect your actual business data to Claude one. Can you make me a Notion guide running through this? Make sure to highlight which MCPs should be used for business and wallet, along with the legal aspect. You can also pull in my personal experience from this. Save it as a private Notion guide. So that will then go and make the private Notion guide for me. Now, this is where I think people mistake this for being AI slop. If you were to just copy and paste that in, yeah, that's not great. I go through and I human edits. Wow, that's wrong. I cannot speak this video. I go through and I edit manually the entire guide. So if there's sections that I'm like, I wouldn't have said that, I rewrite it. It's just to give you a framework of what you want to talk about. Next, after that's done, so we'll go back and I'll show how this is going to save in Notion in a second. Step 1, we film. I use Tela here. We film, one take, camera on, guide on, record, done. I have not retaken a video yet. I'm not sure I ever will. I think it's, again, a lot more raw and authentic when you hear me stumble and you hear me collect my thoughts here. So once a video is done, we're going to use one of these for example. Like this is the MCP server from yesterday. If you haven't used Tela before, it's great recording software, not sponsored, but wish I was. You can cut up the clips here. You can edit the layout here. And when you download, you can download the SRT file. You can either have it burned in or as a file. You can change the resolution, the FPS, all that. So what I like to do is I like to download that SRT file and I like to pull it back into my Claude project. So I'd paste it back in here and then I'd copy this prompt. I have this built into the instructions so I don't have to do this all the time. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let me go back over here, copy this, paste. Based on this transcript, run over our title process. I have it go through 10 title iterations, respond them or return them to me. I pick one, and then it runs 10 more on that, all based on YouTube SEO data too. So make sure I'm getting a title that actually responds well with the algorithm. And then for thumbnails, which I think is my next thing here. Yep. For thumbnails, I use ChatGPT because its image generation is best. I did a custom project here based with 20 images that I literally just picked up my phone, took 20 images like this, just of my face up and down, uploaded them in there as my avatar, and then you can use, that's for carousels, you can use this prompt, which again, all of this is free in the guide, first link in the description. Give me a thumbnail prompt based on my avatar, because now it knows my avatar. You choose the style for my library, and then you would paste in the SRT as well, so it knows exactly what framework it's building the thumbnail for. Great, so we covered thumbnails, we covered editing. See what it came up with here. Done. Saved as private workspace. So if we click on this, it will pull it up. It wants to go into my Notion thing, so I'm not going to show you. We'll continue in the browser. Yep. So we would go through this entire guide. Yeah. Just off this right now, I can already see a few things I changed, but we go through, we manually edit this. I'd make sure it's the way I want if I was going to make a video on connecting your business data to Claude. Great, and then the last thing I wanted to hear, stage 5, is repurposing. You can also use this project for prompts for a thumbnail. So if I was to use this Claude project and I wanted to repurpose this video into something for a carousel, you could use this prompt as well. I might cover that in another video, so I'm not going to cover it too much today. Why I don't automate the top 10%, I kind of talked about. The lines I don't cross, my opinions and takes, those are what are unique to me. The camera, final picks, numbers and claims. Again, like this is news-wise, anyone can deliver the news, but if you're actually building something that you think gives value to people, you should be able to back it up. Like I think this for a lot of creators will help people on the AI space. Again, like I'm not that big. Maybe this YouTube content strategy's less optimal than just paying somebody, but I enjoy it. What this replaces, a script writer, we talked about this, 8 to 12K a month. What to do next? Don't try to build all 5 stages at once. I suggest one at a time. Again, we have people doing this on other guides in the community where they do one stage at a time. They ask the community like, hey, what do you think about this? I chime in, other people chime in, and it's just a great place to be. So if you want to join the community, first link's in the description. If you want to turn that education into profit, we have the AI Academy Plus. We're rolling this out where you can turn that education in, monetize it into cash, money back guarantee there. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I respond to every single one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Deuces.